This tiny device will breathe new life into even your best headphones. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out this. This is so cool. This is the Helm Audio Bolt DAC amp. It's an inline amplifier, and it basically lets you plug in any 3.5 millimeter audio jack into the USB-C of your source device and get way more and way richer sound out of whatever you're listening to. So, don't have USB-C? No problem. It comes with a USB 3.0 adapter, so if you only have that rectangular connection, you're good to go with that. But the basic idea is that you plug it into anything that has USB-C, and it actually amplifies and enriches the audio signal on its way to your headphones. Now, you can use it with speakers and stuff that have 3.5 millimeter jacks, but this is really glorious for headphones. So, what do I have here? These are the Beyerdynamic Amaron Copper, and yes, they're Bluetooth headphones, but plug in that 3.5 millimeter wire it comes with, and now you've got a beautiful pair of wired headphones too. I thought, why not give these a shot? So, plug it in, get it all in line, get that plugged into here, and then you want to have a musical source that has that richer, wider bandwidth. So the unit supports what's known as MQA, or Master Quality Authenticated. And if you're thinking, oh, that sounds like what Tidal does, you're exactly right. Tidal is the prime music source for these sort of high-end audiophile devices because they have big, rich, big data samples and of a ton of music. So if you listen to something through that, it just sounds amazing with the right devices and the right reproduction system. So this also supports THX, and it's MQA, PCM, DSD, DOP, and THX certified. So altogether that adds up to being something that turns my Pixel 5 into a pretty amazing music source. Now, you can use this with things like Spotify or Pandora, or even just streaming radio off your favorite radio station. But when you get to that MQA quality, it really is just like turning on that turbocharger on your car. It's like, oh, there's more of everything. It's richer, more strong. You know, it's a pretty remarkable experience. Now, one thing to know is that there's a little tiny LED here, and that gives you a visual indicator of the bandwidth that you're actually using as you listen. So I'll show you, I never quite got it to be red. It was either blue, which is that, less than 48 kilohertz, which is a typical CD is like 44.1 kilohertz. That's what we're used to listening to. But then when you go to MQA, that's magenta, and that's like 5 or 10 times the amount of information. And obviously, like any other reproduction, having more information gives you a bigger, richer sound. There's just more data for the system to work with on reproduction. So you can see here in this close-up, this is what magenta looks like versus what blue looks like. So the device, actually, have it hooked up with an Android phone here, but it'll work with Mac, Windows, Android, and if you can figure out a Lightning to USB-C adapter, you could actually use it with an iOS device. But for me, I've just been using it with everything but my iPhone. That's okay. Lucky I have lots of other devices. So you plug it into your computer and you're good to go. So let me give you some specs on it, and then I'll tell you what it does to the sound. But you can pretty much guess it's going to be pretty glorious. So this has a sound to noise ratio of 115 decibels. Total harmonic distortion is basically indistinguishable. It's 0.007%. So it's really not adding any distortion for even the most, well-refined listening. 20 to 20,000 hertz of response, and the whole unit is 1.2 ounces. It's really just this tiny little thing. And what happens is if you plug your headphones or something into your computer, say, and I have a gateway that has THX sound, if I plug it in, it sounds good. These are nice headphones. They sound really good. But then when I put this in line and plug it into that USB-C instead of the 3.5 millimeter, I bypass the relatively cheesy DAC that's in my device and use this tuned audiophile DAC instead. And all of a sudden, it's like It's like those old movies where it starts out in little square, black and white, and then it just opens up and it's full color and full screen, and you're like, wow. This is sort of the audio equivalent of that, where your music gets a bigger sound stage, better sound reproduction, better, the quality of the sound is better. So those hi-hats on the drum solo sound nice, not tinny and bright. The bass line becomes very easily distinguished, so you can just listen, if you want, to the bass. You can really get just the detail and clarity of music. So I was listening to Yes, Fragile. Oh, what a great album. And boy, 10 times what a great album it is listening through these headphones and of course the Helm audio device. So this is just a really cool, tiny little gizmo. And what does it come with? Not much. It's really just the device. It comes with that little USB 3 adapter and a little soft leatherette sort of holder that you can put everything in if you want to. But more likely than not, you're going to just leave it permanently connected to your favorite headphones. And then when you want to listen, instead of plugging your headphones into the little 3.5 millimeter jack, you'll plug the Bolt DAC amp into your USB-C, and then you're just going to just enjoy the heck out of everything. So if you have good headphones, these will make them really good. If you have great headphones like these Beyerdynamics, they're going to make them sound even that much better. I mean, I was just zoning out. You try to listen to music while you're working, but when you put this on and then you turn up the volume maybe just a little bit, and the volume gets so loud I can't actually test full volumes, just so you know, because it's an amplifier too, right? So you turn that volume up and I just drifted away into the music and stopped being productive at all, which was great on one sense and not very productive on the other sense. So you'll have to find that balance for yourself. But suffice to say, this is a remarkable little device. I'm really a fan of these tiny little inline amps because it just makes everything you already own sound better. So it's a very green solution too, and really simple to work with. So definitely worth checking out. The only thing left to talk about is the price. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you can click or tap on that little red subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate when you do that. And leave me a comment too. If you have something like this or you want to get something like this, what are you going to plug in? What kind of headphones do you have and why do you like them? So it's a great question. All right, this is the Helm Audio Bolt DAC amp, and it's $99.99 at helmaudio.com. And if you move quickly, there are still some promotions going on for the holidays, but if you watch this a few weeks or months after I've recorded it, you might have missed them. So either way, definitely worth the money. If you're the kind of person who really wants the best possible sound reproduction for everything you're listening to, this is going to rock your world. Definitely worth checking out. And with that, I'm going to reassemble everything, and I think I'm going back to yes, which means that I will catch you in my next video.